Good morning. Welcome to Trust Life with Louise Hay. So we just, in our Qigong meditation, our moving meditation just prior to this, we talked about oh my goodness, I can think. We talked about the expression of gratitude and the feeling of gratitude. And how gratitude, when we bring in gratitude and receive gratitude, we release fear. And that feeling everything is important. And Louise's statement today for May 14th is, I do work I love and I am well paid for it. So the I do work I love part, lots of us think, oh, well, I do love my work. We get a little stuck sometimes in the well paid for it part because and I'm not sure what about that one because I'm still working with that one. Will be for the rest of my life. I remember once I had a session with my coach and with my Louise Hay training coach, and I needed to work through something, and I called her up and I said I booked an appointment with her, and I knew what her rate was per hour. And as we worked through what I needed to work through, it was an incredible session because in 1 hour I cleared a whole bunch of stuff that was just ready to be cleared, and I just needed her help to be the catalyst to set it free. And at the end, because we were friends and we'd spent so much time together, she started to say to me, well, you don't have to pay. And I said, hold it. I need to pay you for this because you have given me value and I need to give you value back. It needs to be a circle and a cycle of value coming in and value coming out. And it was a real lesson to me. I needed to be able to pay her for it. To complete the cycle and complete the healing in me, I needed to be able to give that value back and share it back with the universe. So sometimes some things come into us and we give back in other places. But that cycle, it's called currency because it flows. If it doesn't flow, it gets stuck. And then when we hold on to it and grip it and hold tightly to it, something changes inside of us. But when it can flow through us, when that value can flow through us, and coming on the wings of things that we love to do, and I love it when the things that I contribute, when people come back to me and say, this really helped, this really helped. This hollow bone here is a channel from the universe of unconditional love through me to you. And so, yes, I've spent many, many years studying and practicing on myself and practicing in the relationships around me. And I'm at a spot and have always been at a spot. You're always at a spot. You are at a spot where you are the medicine for someone else. And it's so gratifying when we can do things like that and we can see what we have done and how and you, because you're at that spot too, you touch people, guaranteed, absolutely, no question. We have influence on each other. And we can influence each other, we can be the medicine. And the more that we ground ourselves in self-love and self-confidence, not in I'm better than you, but just simply of I am worthy of love. Simply because I exist, I am worthy of love. I am loved, I am love. When that starts to settle into our souls, that vibration that we carry moves to other people, and then they start vibrating in that manner as well. Or they go away, whichever one they wish to. And when they go away, it might create some sadness for us. But they're just not ready to vibrate at that space yet. But they will, if they decide that they're going to leave, they will leave with a knowing that what they left was something that they chose to leave, and that they simply were afraid of it. They were afraid of loving. They were afraid of the vulnerability of loving ourselves, because it is a vulnerability. But there's so much strength in it. I do work I love and I am well paid for it. These are affirmations for career growth. I get along with all my coworkers, and we can transfer coworkers to people in my family, relationships, extended family, all those things. I get along with all my coworkers in an atmosphere of mutual respect. I work for people who respect me and pay me well. My workspace is a pleasure to be in. It is easy for me to find employment. My income is constantly increasing. My work is fulfilling and satisfying. I always have wonderful bosses. It is a pleasure to come to work. I have a great work life. I appreciate my career. Many of us are working from home right now, and we're intertwined with our children and our families and our husbands and our spouses and our partners of whatever they are, and or nothing. If we live alone and we're single, we're intertwined with ourself. How is that workspace? How can this relate to those kinds of workspaces? It comes down to ourself. When we're comfortable and loving ourself, when we have that perception of ourself, we can't help but perceive it in other people. And when we perceive it in other people, even though perhaps they don't carry that energy at the moment, because we perceive it in them, and it is in them, it's just buried in some way. But if we choose to see that part of them, I have a dear friend down in California. I think I've told this story before, but it's so much worth telling. She had a neighbor who was just that curmudgeon. Grumpy, 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 constantly complaining. She chose to see past that grumpiness and decide that what she saw in him instead was love, and she just decided to love him. Just love him. And knowing this person, her love is infectious because it's grounded in her love of herself. Number one, she loved herself, so she said, I see that this guy is grumpy because of pain. So because I love me, I don't have to take his grumpiness and put it on myself and go, oh, that's all about me. I can go, oh, that's about him. Oh, he's hurting. Oh, I can love him. And she just loved him. And now they're the best of friends. They've lived beside each other for years and years. And now he makes her cookies and brings her stuff because she loved him. She saw in him what he couldn't see in himself. And when we see in ourselves what we can't see in ourselves, we start to expand. And as we love ourselves and expand into ourself, we can't help but bubble over into each other. Namaste. Have a bubbly day. I love you.